6775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And I remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me. First, there are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio, always celebrating. Today is National Old Stuff Day. National Read Across America Day. We'll talk about that in just a second. World Teen Mental Wellness Day. World Teen Mental Wellness Day. And even though I can't speak this morning, we are celebrating something for those people who have beaten anorexia like me. National Banana Cream Pie Day. Yeah. Hey, let's take a look and see what's going on in the world today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 73 points. Not a big issue after how much it went up yesterday. S&P 500 down 18. NASDAQ down 139 points. Ow! Oil up 5 cents a barrel. Does it matter? Well, we're in Venezuela, so it probably doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. Venezuela, we just like to charge more. So let's take a look and see how much more we're paying for gasoline than the rest of the world, because this is the favored state of taxes. $2.73 a gallon is the national average. If you want to pay $2.39.2, that would not be in Venezuela. That would be in Mississippi. If you want to pay $2.63.9, that would not be in Venezuela. That would be New Mexico. $2.99, under $3 a gallon. Yeah, still not Venezuela. That's Arizona. $3.48 per gallon. $3.48 a gallon. No, you got to go to Hawaii for that one. I'll go there for get gas, I guess. $3.70 a gallon is the average cost across the state of Venezuela. $3.70 per gallon. Ow! But we keep doing this stuff to ourselves. Let's keep shooting ourselves in the foot. But hey, you know something? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Let's take a look at the 10-year Treasury. Down a couple basis points today. That means we probably see a little bit of good news in the home loan interest rate market today. But does that matter? Should you be locking in a rate today? We'll talk about it. Give you our guidance, our forecast. No one knows exactly. Senate Democrats call for automatic stimulus checks and extra unemployment benefits. Not a surprise there that they want to keep spending more money.
Surprise.
Let's see what else is going on in the world. That's Dr. Seuss. The cancel culture, they're at it again. Dr. Seuss is in the crosshairs. Sales of 6 Dr. Seuss books to cease over racist and insensitive imagery. Unbelievable. The Cat in the Hat is a racist story. Where the heck do they come up with this stuff? It's beyond me. It is beyond me where they come up with some of these things, because it is what it is, right? I mean, these have been around for ages. Are they hurting anybody? Did they hurt you? Your parents probably read Dr. Seuss to you. Are you scarred for life? But the cancel culture, that's what they're all about. As long as, well, I mean, Dr. Seuss must have been a Republican, because, well, no, he wasn't. He was a Democrat. And they're still looking to cancel him? Doesn't make any sense. And we know that it's a party issue, because look what they did to Brett Kavanaugh with no evidence. And look at the treatment of Andrew Cuomo right now. Are you following that story at all? I know not many people follow the news. They're not junkies like me. But Andrew Cuomo, now the third person to come out and accuse him of, I guess they call it sexual insensitivity. Sexual insensitivity. Vice President Harris, though, she wanted Kavanaugh impeached, yet now she's quiet on Cuomo. I wonder what that's all about. How could that possibly be? A new tax. Elizabeth Warren, never seen a tax she didn't like. Looking to put a wealth tax. You gotta. How do you do some of these things? I mean, we know that it's not constitutional, but it sounds good for a socialist, communist like her, Bernie Sanders, the two of them. But here's the issue. She's like 2% on people worth over so much, and 5% on others. But these folks, it's not like they've cashed out of anything. So you look at it and they say, okay, Jeff Bezos would have to pay $5.6 billion under this tax. $5.6 billion.
Ow!
Yeah, but he hasn't sold that stock. So how do you know what it's really worth? You don't know what it's worth until he sells the stock, because it could be worth, $150 million today, but maybe it's only worth $50 million next month. And then it becomes, you never know. He actually said that at some point in time, the company will probably go bankrupt. Well, how do you deal with some of these things? Moving right along. Hey, dishonesty out of the Biden administration. Does that surprise anybody?
Surprise, surprise.
So we're seeing all of the changes that they're making along the border. Yeah, the Biden administration doesn't like the fact that the unregistered Democrats coming across the border illegally were stopping under the policies of the Trump administration. So being that they need more of those unregistered Democrats to come in, they're changing everything. Yeah, the cages that President Obama built, those were see-through. President Biden now is using shipping containers. Have you ever been in a shipping container? I've been in many, many of them, unloading them. Not fun. But you look and watch it, our DHS Secretary, Mayorkas, says there's no crisis at the southern border. Really? So why are you building more tent cities? Oh, maybe that's just so you can start registering those unregistered Democrats that are coming across the border illegally. Unbelievable how you can stand out there in front of a sign that says the White House and lie to the American people. I just don't get it, but that's what we're watching right now coming out of Washington. So do you want to believe what they have to say? I mean, so far, nothing that they've told us has come to pass, but we'll see. Maybe it is a month. They've only destroyed a little bit of the country so far. We'll see what else is going on. Speaking of destroying, how about that Berkeley Teachers Union boss that says the kids in public school can't go to school while he's taking his 2-year-old daughter to an in-person preschool? Matt Meyer. That's the guy, president of the Berkeley Federation of Teachers. Vocal advocate of keeping public schools closed until all teachers are offered vaccinations against COVID-19. Yet there's video of him taking his daughter to school. I think his daughter should go to school. The fact that he's trying to oppress all the other kids, that's the problem. That's the issue. Why is the school teachers union, I should say the right way. Why is the school teacher union trying to oppress all of these kids? I've said this before. I'll say it again. Problem solved in 2 words: voucher system. Yeah, they don't want vouchers because that would take the power away from these union bosses. Start a voucher system where the kids can go to any school they want to, get any education they want to, based on the parents' decision, not the kids. I know some people want to think that the kids at age 2 can make all the decisions for their life, but I don't believe that. But the parents can make that decision, send their kids to whatever school they want to, especially right now where we're seeing the parochial schools all open, all doing well. That means those who can afford to send their kids to school there are getting educated. The kids that are in public school, yeah, you can just stay home. We've lost a year of your lives in education right now. Think about this. You go to school, I think you start school at about, 5 years old? You're done at about 17, 18 years old with public school. Is that 13 years? Now we've taken a year away. That's 10% of the schooling. Really? And we think that that's okay? I know the Los Angeles Teachers Union, they don't want to go back to school ever, but they want to keep getting paid, right? So why does the taxpayer money continue going there if they don't want to go back and teach the kids? I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to ask them these questions. I pose them. Don't hear back. What else is going on in the world? Hey, Nikki Haley, after bashing President Trump, yeah, now she comes out and praises his strong CPAC speech. Just amazing how these bandwagoners, and I thought Nikki Haley was a little better than that, but I guess nothing more than another bandwagoner. So when the going gets tough, Haley got going out the door. Doesn't bother me that President Trump decided that he did not want to take a meeting with Haley after she did that. But we'll see what happens. We continue watching as we continue moving right along. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, got a great broadcast lined up for you today. We're going to chat a little bit about, I can't get my board working here, so I can actually see what our schedule is. Home prices, what happened in 2020, what will happen this year. 1099-C, cancellation of debt, how do you handle it, how to start building credit once you turn 18, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestateradio.com for more info.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Trimming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. 1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products: FHA, USDA, Veterans Administration loans, jumbo loans, conventional loans, and yes, of course, the down payment assistance programs. All of that is available at Geneva Financial. So what is happening in the mortgage market right now? Well, it's pretty simple. The Dow Jones is down 25 points. The NASDAQ is down 120 points. The S&P 500 down 15.5 points. 10-year Treasury down 4 points. Bonds, the mortgage-backed securities, are up 11 basis points. Why is all of that happening? Because as you know, all of that is readily available on that super secret website, Google.com. But here's the issue. Here's some information for you that's not going to be on Google.com. And here's some information that is going to be very, very misleading that's going to come out in the news today. So here's the issue. CoreLogic, they released their home price index report for January, showing that home prices increased 1% during the month and 10% on a year-over-year basis. Significant gain from the 9.2% year-over-year number reported last month. CoreLogic forecasts that home prices will rise 0.5% in February, but they've been forecasting minimal gains each month going forward, and it seems we've been getting almost 1% gains in each report. Why aren't they changing their numbers? They see 3.3% appreciation in the year going forward, which is better than the 2.9% forecast in the previous report. Still lower than most forecasts out there. Remember that not that long ago, CoreLogic was forecasting a negative 6.6%. Within their survey, they said that 76% of the people have no plans to purchase a home in the next 6 months, with the majority experiencing affordability issues. It's amazing that people just accept the number on the surface and don't think about what it means. They think it means weakness. Well, that's what you're going to get from the lame street media. So let's look at the fact that 24% who don't own a home, right? They said 76% of the people that don't own a home have no plans to purchase a home in the next 6 months. 76%. That means the opposite, 24% of the people who don't own a home are going to be buying in the next 6 months. That comes out to roughly 10 million people looking to buy a home in the next 6 months. Okay, but there's only 1 million homes on the market. So if 10 million people are planning on buying in the next 6 months, okay, we got 1 million times 6, that's 6 million homes, right? So if we sell every one of that million that's on the market, 6 million homes, 10 million people want them. That means there's 2 people for every home. Think about that. That's why prices continue to appreciate. Top areas in the country right now. And the media is just going to come out. I promise you, you look in the headlines tonight, and you're going to see someone's going to say from that CoreLogic reporting 76% of the people have no plans to purchase a home in the next 6 months. But nobody's going to come out and tell you the positive side. Why? For you to just ponder that question. Is anybody talking about the fact that the coronavirus numbers are going down dramatically? Why aren't they telling you that one? Right? Because the politicians, the government, the liberals, right, their whole concept is if you're scared, then you won't act. Unbelievable. Top metros in their survey from CoreLogic, they do good looking backwards. Phoenix up 14.8%, San Diego up 11%, Washington 9.1%. The San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly and Fed Governor Lael Brainerd, they're going to be speaking later today. Brainerd's comments will be especially important, as it is thought she could be the next in line for the Fed chair after Powell's term is up next year. So we're going to be listening to the Fed members' comments closely this week ahead of their March 17th Fed meeting. The recent moves in the bond market have gotten their attention. They may give us some clues this week on the adjustments they plan to make. One that we've talked about before is something called Operation Twist. Operation Twist. What the heck is Operation Twist? And no, it's not a song that we're contemplating. You look at me, I'm not a singer. So what is Operation Twist? Well, this is where the Fed would be selling shorter dated government notes and buy about the same dollar amount in longer duration securities. The idea there is to nudge up shorter term rates and drive down those at the longer end, thus flattening the yield curve. So if that's the case, then we would see lower interest rates on your home loans. That's a longer term bond. So we might see longer term. That might be a good news for the mortgage world. Tomorrow we're going to get the first of 2 important employment reports, the ADP employment report, where estimates are calling for 165,000 new jobs. On Friday, the more important BLS jobs report will be released and is expected to show only 140,000 new jobs, being 10 million jobs behind the pre-pandemic levels, extremely weak levels of job growth. Yeah, not good news. Mortgage bonds trading in a range between the 2 Fibonacci levels. Those are technical terms. I've told you before, you don't need to know those. But if you ask a mortgage professional and they don't know it, are they an order taker or do they know how to guide you through the process? And I've been a big proponent of understanding and getting professional guidance. You need professional guidance. But you don't need professional guidance if the person guiding you has no clue what the heck they're doing. So I'm just throwing that out there for you, that I'm a big proponent of the guidance. But you got to understand what these things are. Not you, the person that's guiding you, right? I get my taxes done for me. I don't need to know all the tax laws. I need to know that the person that does my taxes knows all the tax laws. We've had many people come into to our broadcast and talk to you, real estate professionals. I don't need to know everything about the contract. I don't even know everything about the contract. I've got a real estate license, and I don't know about the contract. But what I do want to make sure is that the people that I'm hiring, not those cut rate, cut service things that they talk about on TV, but the people that I'm hiring, they must know. They must know what they're talking about, or I don't want them helping me. I'll just throw that out there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, home prices, what happened in 2020? what will happen this year. Here's when you should check your FICO scores based on what you're applying for, the 1099-C. What is it? How to start building credit once you turn 18. Follow up on yesterday's conversation. And of course, we've got a featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Yeah, myfavoritelender.net. All that and more. You can reach me anytime off your number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, no longer on Twitter, at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Hi, we're here with Ron Siegel, the host of Real Estate Radio. Ron, welcome to the studio. Give us insight as to what your show is all about.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me that question. The reason we developed Real Estate Radio is right now there's an abundance of misinformation out there. So Real Estate Radio is a show designed to give Southern California a focal point for their real estate knowledge, as well as a place to go just in case they might need anything real estate related.
So how are you helping people?
That's actually pretty simple. People need advice. So it really doesn't matter who you are. If you have any real estate questions, we're here to help. Whether you're buying a home, selling, you're experiencing a loan modification, short sale, foreclosure, there are a lot of things going on in this marketplace.
How can people get a hold of you?
Real easy. All you have to do is call. The number is 1-800-306-1990. Press option 1.
Interesting times in the market right now. Where do you think the markets are going from here?
That's a great question. All I can say is this. The housing market came down one house at a time, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build it one house, one family at a time. So the best thing that anyone can do is access the free advice that we really want to give you. And to do that, you simply need to call me. The number is 1-800-306-1990, option 1. I'd really love to help.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investment? About it. Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564, SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest. Yeah, they know exactly what the county recorder knows about your property, what the market believes about your property. And it's all compliments of your friends at Ron Siegel Radio. I like that when you don't have to pay a thing for it. That's one of my favorite words, free. Right? I should complimentary. They tell me I can't say free, that it's, it's complimentary, but it's got all great information. One of the most interesting pieces that we send out on a regular basis, just because it's got a lot of great information in there. And the information that's there, when we send it out once a month. We send that digest out to all of the families who've requested that from us. And we send it out monthly. And it's amazing how many people on a monthly basis are not only looking for it and opening it, they're waiting for it. And if we miss sending it, boy, do we hear about it, that we missed sending them their digest. And then we get an opportunity to go in there and challenge the data. So if you see that there's data in there that you may not agree with, well, you can go through and challenge it. You can make a comment in it. You can say, hey, I think my house is actually worth more than what the digest shows. And if you put that in there, our team will get that and go and do some homework on your behalf and see what the market says about your property. So it's a whole bunch of really, really good information. And as I mentioned, it is compliments of your friends at Ron Siegel Radio. So home prices, that's our question mark today, as to where are they, where were they, where are they going, what can we expect? Well, we're going to share a little bit of information. I'm trying to get a little chart here to show you the chart on the information as well, on just what a little bit of forecasting shows, and I'll get to that in just a second. But here's the issue. The real estate market on fire during the second half of 2020. Buyer demand was way up. Supply of homes available for sale hit record lows. The price of anything is determined by supply and demand ratio. So home prices skyrocketed last year. Dr. Lynn Fisher, Deputy Director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency Division of Research and Statistics, explains, house prices nationwide recorded the largest annual and quarterly increase in the history of the FHFA Home Price Index. Low mortgage rates, pent-up demand from home buyers, and a limited housing supply propelled every region of the country to experience faster growth in 2020 compared to a year ago, despite the pandemic, unquote. So here are the year-end home price appreciation numbers from the FHFA and two other prominent pricing indices. FHFA, Federal Housing Finance Agency House Price Index report, 10.8%. CoreLogic Home Price Insights, 9.2%. S&P Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index, 10.4%. Wow. The past year, truly a remarkable time for homeowners as prices appreciated substantially. Lawrence Yoon, senior economist at the National Association of Realtors, reveals, quote, a typical homeowner in 2020, just by being a homeowner, would have accumulated around $24,000 in housing wealth, unquote. So what's going to happen with home prices this year? Many experts believe buyer demand will soften somewhat as mortgage rates are poised to bump up slightly. Some also believe the inventory challenge will ease as more listings come to market this year. Based on this, most forecasters anticipate we'll see most forecasters anticipate we'll see strong appreciation in 2021, but not as strong as last year. So let me get that chart that I was starting to show you just a minute ago and see if I can get that up on the screen a little bit larger. There it is. 2020 home price forecasts. So we've got the MBA, Mortgage Bankers Association. They're saying another duplicate, 10.3%. National Association of Realtors says 6.6%. The best of all of them, Ivy Zelman & Associates, 6%. Realtor.com, 5.7. Freddie Mac, 5.3. Fannie Mae, 4.2. And CoreLogic, 2.9%. Home price appreciation will be strong this year, but it won't reach the historic levels of 2020. Maybe. That's what all these forecasters are saying. But I just got through telling you, even if look at the numbers of what we were just talking about. We're looking at the first couple of months of the year. Prices are appreciating dramatically. If we go by one of the weakest forecasters, CoreLogic, And if their polling is correct, that 76% of the people say they won't buy in the next 6 months, which means 24% are planning on buying in the next 6 months. And we apply that to the other statistics that there's 1 million homes for sale, 10 million buyers, 1 million for sale. If they all sell every month, which as quickly as they're going, that's highly likely, right? We've got a 1 point, you're looking and saying 10 million people just in their survey are trying to buy 6 million homes. Not a recipe for any type of a slowdown in pricing. And then you look and you say, okay, what does every politician want? What is not even just politicians, because some of them aren't politicians, but in Washington, D.C., what do they all want? Every one of them. They all want the exact same thing. They want to keep their job. Do you think Jerome Powell is any different than all the rest of them? No, not at all. So Powell wants to keep his job. How's he going to keep his job? Well, he's got to make sure that the administration is happy with him, because his term ends, I think it's next year. That would be 2022. Do you think it would look good for the Democrats if there was a weakness in housing, if there was a weakness in the economy next year? No. Now, I don't know if he can overcome everything that the administration is doing, but he's going to do his part. What is his part? What can he do? Well, he has significant influence over interest rates, right? So when I spoke to you in the last segment about Operation Twist, what's that going to do? Well, that's going to help keep interest rates low, maybe bring them lower than they are today, right? So if they keep bringing them lower, well, that's good news for the housing market. Interest rates continue to drop. You're going to see what happens there. That'll mean that the housing market will continue to be just as hot. Now, the idea here is more important than the housing market being hot. It's what happens when a house is sold. That's the big issue, because a lot of people don't follow that part of it. When a house is sold, there is a multiplier effect. Multiplier effect. What is that? So every time a house is sold, there's a multiplier. So if the house is sold and generates a exponentially more than what the value is of the property. Hard to explain it that way. So let me do it a little bit different. So when the house is sold, the buyer pays the seller, and there's a certain percentage of profit, hopefully, that the seller makes. Got it? That's the simple part of it. So let's just use some round numbers in here to see if we can make this make sense. You're selling a property and you have a basis of $250,000 and you sell it for $500,000. You've got a $250,000 there of theoretically a profit or a gain on that. Now that $500,000 is going to generate a realtor's commission. It's going to generate sales for title. It's going to generate escrow money, business. It's going to generate lender fees, money, right? So you've got escrow office, you've got underwriters, processors, loan officers, administrative staff, but more. You've got a moving company, maybe. If you're not getting a moving company, you might be renting a truck. You might be buying boxes. A lot of people decide, okay, I'm going to repaint. I'm going to recarpet. I'm going to remodel. That's the multiplier effect. So the concept here is they want to keep the housing industry strong. 70% of GDP, maybe 67% of GDP comes from the consumer. And the biggest component of that is housing. Right? You don't look and say, okay, I want to make sure my car payment stays under 50% of my income. No. It's I want to make sure my housing expense stays under 45 or 50% of my income. So you're going to be spending all that money. They want to continue that money going. That's why, if you remember, right after the housing crisis in 2009, they had something called a first-time home buyer credit. And I think it was like $8,000 that they would give people to go and buy a house. It was a tax credit. You got it off your tax return the following year. A credit, not a deduction, a credit, which is better. But when we did some analysis back then, I think the number was the federal government would get like a $17,000 return, meaning increased income tax revenue by that $8,000 home credit. Why would they do something like that? Because it makes sense. It makes money. Now, I know in Washington, they don't always do things that make sense and that make money. But in this particular case, that's what they did, and that's why they did it. More important than what they did, it's why they did it. So we're just giving you a little bit of background information on that because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. We got a lot to cover still today. When you should check your FICO score based on what you're applying for. That's an interesting one. How to start building credit once you turn 18. And 1099 cancellation debt, featured home, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. No longer on Twitter at Ron Siegel, but if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL number 018694552.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. You got to love that. myfavoritelender.net. They've got the properties for you. Whose property is the featured one today? Let me see if we can show it to you. Yeah, we got it right there. If you're watching us, RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our social channels, or if you are on the ABC, the KMET AM 1490 ABC News and Talk video feed, you're seeing the featured home on the screen right now. 220 Laurel Avenue, Brea, California, 92821. Beautiful contemporary style home built in 1998, a modern and well-kept home just walking distance from popular restaurants and a host of shopping centers. This home will charm you with its 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and a bonus room. That is on the ground level, adjacent a bathroom, perfect for using it as a guest room or a family member that can't use stairs. Open floor plan, bright rooms with lots of windows allow for a comfortable and soothing environment. With its large kitchen and center island, it is truly an entertainer's delight. Oscar Jimenez has this property. Oscar from Coldwell Banker. All of it can be yours if the price is right. $849,900 is their list price. Look at a little bit of financing for you. 3.5% down, $39.84 per month, principal and interest. You have to add the taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance, all that good stuff. If you put 20% down, you're looking at $3,006 a month. If you put 25% down, strategically that is, $2,602 a month. For those of you keeping score, that would be a 5.204 APR, 3.426 APR, and a 2.96 APR. NMLS 217037. Got to keep the compliance people happy. That's where we get all of that information. That is the featured home today, brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Oscar Jimenez. He's the one that's got it. If you wanted more information on the property, give me a call. I'll put you in touch with a great real estate agent to help you out on that part of it. So let's continue our conversation today. Been chatting a little bit about some of the different items going on in this world. 1099-C, cancellation of debt. So it's another one of those items that you don't necessarily need to know everything about it other than the fact that it is there. If you get a 1099-C, it's a tax form required by the IRS in certain situations where your debts have been forgiven or canceled. The IRS requires a 1099-C form for certain acts of debt forgiveness because it considers that forgiven debt as a form of income. If, for example, you borrowed $12,000 for a personal loan, only paid back $6,000, you still receive the original $12,000 if that unpaid debt was forgiven or canceled, not paying back the money, the other half of the loan. You got the benefit of that money without paying for it. As a result, the IRS wants their share. So, and there are certain programs at certain times where they actually don't charge the debt is not going to be collected. So make sure you're talking to a tax professional about that part of it. How to start building credit once you turn 18. We talked a lot about credit yesterday, how to build your credit scores. Got a lot in that conversation yesterday. If you missed it, shame on you, but the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Or you can go to RonSiegelRadio.com in the archives. It is posted there. Good credit, crucial unlocking many financial opportunities in life. When you have a great credit score, you can get lower interest rates on car loans, credit cards, and mortgages. Some employers and landlords even check credit reports before they make a job offer or approve a resident application. While developing a solid credit history takes time, follow some of these tips on how to establish credit once you turn 18 to get started as soon as possible. Number one, understand the basics of credit. We spoke a lot about that yesterday. Make sure you understand the basics of how credit works. Your credit reports are maintained by 3 credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. It contains data on your current and past debts, payment history, residential history, and other facts. This data is supplied by lenders, creditors, and businesses where you have accounts. The information contained in your credit report determines your credit score. Higher credit scores are more attractive. It's not like golf and you want the low score. No, you want the high score. Factors that influence your score include payment history, which is whether you pay your bills on time, average age of accounts, which is how long you've had your accounts open, credit utilization, account mix, and inquiries. We got into that extensively. As a new adult, some of these factors may not currently apply to you. However, they can all negatively or positively affect your score depending upon your behavior as a consumer. Get educated. They're not teaching this stuff in school. Monitor your credit report and credit score. Now that you understand the basics of building credit, you need to start monitoring your credit report and credit score. Monitoring your credit is one of the best ways to learn what will positively or negatively impact your scores. It also helps you catch inaccuracies or signs of identity theft sooner. Get everything you need to master your credit today. Get started for free. You can check your credit report for free annually with each of the major credit bureaus. We've talked about that. If you're really serious about understanding your credit reports, again, watch the broadcast or listen to the broadcast from yesterday. I didn't neglect telling you one of the tools yesterday, but I'll tell it to you right now. Optoutprescreen.com. Optoutprescreen.com. That's a biggie. You need to understand optoutprescreen.com. No spaces. That's a form that you can fill out. I like to do it every year or two. They say it lasts 5 years, but you just got to make sure you sign up for it. That's a item right there, optoutprescreen.com, that stops the bureaus. It tells them, I don't want you to sell my information to anybody. I don't want you to give my name out to anybody. So if you've ever had it where you get a bunch of, you apply for something and all of a sudden you start getting a bunch of unsolicited calls for that same item, it's because it's something called a trigger lead, optoutprescreen.com. Sign up for Extra Credit. Extra Credit is not, this is number 3rd item on there. Extra Credit does more than just show you your credit scores. Have you currently started paying rent or utilities? Build it. We'll add them as new trade lines with all 3 credit bureaus. That means you'll get credit for bills you're already paying. Building your credit profile. Extra Credit right there. Become an authorized user. If you have a friend or family member willing to add you as an authorized user on their credit card, you can piggyback off their credit card activity to help establish your credit. Even if you don't use the card, you shouldn't. The account can still land on your credit report and potentially positively impact your score. This method poses some risk to the primary cardholder and you, the authorized user. If you or the primary cardholder rack up too much debt or miss payments, that activity could end up damaging the credit of both parties. You should also verify that the credit card company in question reports card activity to the credit file of authorized users. If they don't, your credit won't see much benefit. So what you really need there is you need somebody who's got an old credit card and has a high limit and a low or no balance, but they're using it all the time. So old card, high limit, low balance, being used all the time, and that's going to benefit you. Number 5, get a starter credit card. Credit cards are one of the best tools around for building credit, but you might have trouble qualifying for one when you have no credit history. There are some options there. Unsecured credit cards are around. You want to make sure that they do report to the bureaus. Some of them don't report to the bureaus, so you want to make sure that you're getting one that does. Number 6 is make payments on time. And I shared with you yesterday a great strategy there. Cell phone bill, your internet bill, some of your stables, get a credit card for each one of those, a separate card for each one of them. Put them on auto pay so you're always getting the bill paid on time, so your cell phone bill is paid on time, and then set up at your bank to make a payment to them every month, so that's done on time. Maintain low credit card balances. We talked to you about that extensively yesterday. You might want to get a loan to try and just make sure you're paying that on time. Keep it simple. That's a biggie. Don't get too complex right now. Don't get overextended. Big problem. We see a lot of times, a lot of young people, they get a credit card. It becomes very, very simple for them to just put the card out for everything. You got to make sure you're paying for everything you put that card out for. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in some serious trouble. And that is not the point of what we're doing here. But as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Tides that I tried to swim against brought me down upon my knees.